Shame on you. You're nothing but a self-promoting hack.
Oh. I met another girl, Dad. I really think this is the one.
So Disney just had their investor call where they talked about new projects that are coming down the horizon. And they also talked about laying off over 7,000 workers and numbers for Disney Plus declining. So lots of good news. Bob Iger is back as the head of Disney, and it looks like he is wasting no time in doing what he does best, and that's pump out the sequels. Like it or not, sequels bring in the dough, and especially if they are sequels from successful franchises. And now that Iger is back in charge, he has to bring Disney back to its peak, bring the excitement back to a Disney film. Totally a supporter of like new content, fresh new ideas. I'm not gonna lie here and say that the possibility or the announcement of Frozen 3, Zootopia 2, and Toy Story 5 doesn't get me hyped. Because let's be honest, guys, the last couple of Disney animated films haven't been so good, Looking at you, Strange Worlds. And of course, I'm not going to totally sit here and say, Strange Worlds is the worst thing ever and it's the death of Disney because of it. No. If you like Strange Worlds, continue to like it. Anything I say is not going to, change it for you. You like it, you like it. But I think the same thing goes for Pixar with my feelings of what is going on with Disney and the quality of work that they have been doing. Just not some good stuff have been happening. Aside from Soul and Turning Red, which I really enjoy, I think they're like top tier Pixar films. The rest of the stuff that we've gotten out of Pixar and Disney Animated Studios, it's just, like I said, it's not the quality I'm used to. Now, I'm part of the Pixar cult. I was there opening night, opening day, when the first theatrical Pixar film came out, Toy Story. I was right there watching it on the big screen, and I fell in love. From Monsters, Inc., Incredibles, Finding Nemo, and even Bugs Life. Yes, I'm not gonna be ashamed of that. I love Bugs Life. I'm ready for Pixar to come back to its greatness, even if that means pumping out a whole bunch of sequels of movies that we already seen before. And I get it. I understand what people are talking about when they say, they don't want their franchise to be tarnished, it should have ended at number 3 and so on and so on. Trust me, I get that. We all know what happened to the Star Wars franchise. They done goofed on that. But I have confidence in Toy Story and in the people behind Toy Story that Disney, knows that this is a franchise that they can't F up. They can't mess up Toy Story, because if you mess up Toy Story, then the ship is going to sink. I feel like they will do everything in their power to make sure that Toy Story 5 is going to be at least decent. But I would argue that, for a Toy Story film, it can't be just decent. It has to be pretty good. And I think that we got that in Toy Story 4. I know a lot of people in the beginning were like, dude, Toy Story 4, we don't need this. It ended on perfectly. And I agree with them. It ended perfectly in the franchise. But Toy Story 4 just, to me, proved that you can still continue the story of all these toys that we grew up with. So with all that being said, you came here because the title of this video, we need Toy Story 5 and more. And what I mean by that is, not only do we need Toy Story 5 to happen, but we also need Toy Story 6. I'm gonna explain myself, don't worry. I just feel like there is so much more to do with this franchise, so much more stories to tell, so much more characters to develop in this franchise. I know I'm going to be sounding like a broken record when I keep on bringing up Toy Story 4, but a lot of people didn't think that Toy Story 4 was going to add anything further to the story that we already knew, Like, it ended on a great note, a sad note, a warm note, and what can you possibly do? And what we got with Toy Story 4 was a further character development into Woody, a character that has been established for 3 films, and we still learned more about him. So for me, a Toy Story 5, maybe if they focus on Buzz Lightyear a little bit, or some of the lesser known characters, dive deep into that, there is story to be told there and something that I want to see. They can also go into the aspect of like technology and all that stuff, and how technology is taking over toys, traditional toys, and how kids nowadays toys are not really playing that. Maybe they can do something with Bonnie like that. You know, she's on her phone or her tablet or something like that, and she's like, I don't want to play with toys anymore. It sounds something similar to what they did with Andy, but they could, you know, switch it up. You know, the people, the writers and everything, they know what they're doing with Toy Story. They know what they're doing, so they'll figure out something cool and make an interesting switch to it. Whatever they do, whatever they end up doing, you know, I'm gonna be there on opening day, opening night. But whatever they do with that film, it has to culminate into Toy Story 6, which I feel should be the end of the franchise. I know, I should have ended on 3, but number 6 is where the franchise should end, and they should bring back a character that we haven't seen in a while, and that's Andy. I know what you're thinking. I know, you're now like, we already did it with Andy. Andy's story is done, it's told, it's finished, we don't need to know anything about it. Hear me out here. Hear me out. As somebody who has gone through exactly what Andy has done, you know, going off to college, starting their adulthood, giving away their toys, throwing away their toys, I can tell you with confidence that once you get older and once you start getting a paycheck, you know, no matter how small it is and how small significant it is, and you start, you know, going through the thing called life, and you start getting sad and realizing you got to pay taxes and you got to do all this stuff, adulting and everything, you start to feel something in the back of your mind, and something's crawling from the darkness, and it's called nostalgia. And then that nostalgia comes, and it takes a form of you buying toys as an adult. And just look behind me. And in Toy Story 6, Andy will have that itch, and he will be yearning for his old toys, all his toys that he grew up with. He would want to collect them back again, just to make him feel a little bit like a kid again. Then you'll just like have that tearjerker moment that Pixar knows how to do best, where Andy and Woody and Buzz are all reunited, and all the rest of the toys are reunited together until Andy dies. We're going dark. And of course you can fill in all the blanks with all that stuff, but that's, to me, it would be like the ideal Toy Story 6 for me. It would just be like a full circle culmination of like, you know, this is how we started, this is where we are kind of thing, you know, just everything coming together. I can just see it now, you know. Disney, if you're watching this, you can call me up, you know, we can talk about copyrights and stuff, you know, story stuff, you know. But I mean, think about it. I'm pretty sure if you watch any kind of movie related content on YouTube, one or more of the creators you watch have backgrounds filled with toys, either from properties that they grew up with or new stuff like Funko Pops, because Funko Pops are like an infestation. And all of those people, all those content creators you're watching, for the most part, I'm assuming most of them are going to be grown adults. So I know right now a lot of people are saying that Toy Story 5 should not happen, it should never been made, blah, blah, blah. We've been down this road before. When Toy Story 4 came out, they said the same thing, and then it came out, and everybody, for the most part, loved it. You know, there's still some naysayers out there that said they still shouldn't have been made, but in the back of their mind, they're like, I want to see more Toy Story. I want to see the story continue. But guys, let me know what you think of this. You know, I know this isn't the typical like movie review stuff that I usually do, more of like a discussion on film. I want to start doing a little bit more of that stuff, but I don't know how that, you know, how that's going to go on the YouTube algorithm kind of stuff going on, but we'll see what happens. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you for Toy Story 5, even though we haven't seen any details, no story plots, no nothing about the film? Or you just already have a instant reaction of either you hate this, you don't want this to happen, or you're kind of like me, is like, I want to see more Toy Story, I can't wait for it, let's go. Let me know in the comments down below. But guys, I am back. As you can see, it's kind of different behind me, you know. I had recently moved and I got a second room, you know, I got a 2-bedroom apartment now, so we can do some stuff with the background, we can do all that stuff, but I'm coming back with a vengeance. This isn't the first and last video in a long time. We're coming back. But like I said, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below about this topic, and you know what to do. You already know. Remember, guys, keep watching movies.